Nobel Prize-winning human rights organization Amnesty International on Tuesday said that it is halting its India operations and letting go of all the staff. The move, it says, comes after the freezing of its accounts by the government. The human rights organization called it an incessant witch hunt by the Indian government. In a statement that was released on its website, Amnesty International said the complete freezing of Amnesty International India's bank accounts by the Government of India, which it came to know on 10th of September 2020, brings all the work being done by the organization to a grinding halt. The organization has been compelled to let go of the staff in India and pause all its ongoing campaign and research work. This is latest in the incessant witch hunt of human rights organization by the Government of India over unfounded and motivated allegations, Amnesty International India today said in a statement. It further said that the crackdown on human rights organization and freezing of its account is not accidental. The constant harassment by government agencies, including the Enforcement Directorate, is a result of our unequivocal calls for transparency in government, more recently for accountability of the Delhi Police and the Government of India regarding the grave human rights violation in Delhi riots at Jammu and Kashmir. For a movement that has done nothing but raise its voices against injustice, this latest attack is akin to freezing dissent. This is what Avinash Kumar, the Executive Director of Amnesty International India, said. The action against Amnesty International comes days after it accused Delhi police of being complicit in the Northeast Delhi riots that broke out in February earlier this year. Avinash Kumar further said, treating human rights organizations like criminal enterprises and dissenting individuals as criminals without any credible evidence is a deliberate attempt by the Enforcement Directorate and the Government of India to stoke a climate of fear and dismantle the critical voices in India. It reeks of fear and repression, ignores the human cost to this crackdown, particularly during a pandemic, and violates people's basic right to freedom of speech and expression, assembly and association guaranteed by the Indian Constitution and international human rights law. Instead, as a global power and a member of United Nations Human Rights Council, India must fearlessly welcome calls for accountability and justice. Rebutting the claims, however, Delhi police had said that Amnesty International's report calling it complicit in Delhi riots was lopsided, biased and malicious. Earlier in the month of August, on the first anniversary of the revocation of Article 370 from Kashmir, Amnesty had called for the release of all the detained political leaders, activists and journalists, and for the resumption of high-speed internet services in the region. The group, which has faced scrutiny by different government agencies over the past few years, has also said that freezing of its bank accounts earlier this month was the final straw. But this is not the first time Amnesty International India is facing this. In August 2016, a case of sedition was filed against Amnesty India over allegation that anti-India slogans were raised at one of its events. 3 years later, a court ordered the charges to be dropped. In October 2018, the group's offices in the southern city of Bangalore were raided by the Enforcement Directorate, which investigates financial crimes. Its accounts were frozen then too, but Amnesty says it was able to access them after seeking a court's intervention. The ED raid was to investigate the alleged irregularities in the foreign funding for the group. According to the Home Ministry, the human rights organization got money into India through the FDI, that is Foreign Direct Investment route, which is not allowed in the case of non-profits. In early 2019, the group says dozens of its small donors were sent letters by the country's income tax department, and later in the same year, Amnesty's office were raided again, this time by the Central Bureau of Investigation based on a case registered by India's Home Affairs Ministry. In its statement, Amnesty today finally said that on 10th of September 2020, Amnesty International India came to know that all its bank accounts were completely frozen by the Enforcement Directorate, which has brought most of the work of the human rights organization to a grinding halt.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.